So I'm early to the restaurant for my mom's birthday dinner, and I'm sitting here in the parking lot waiting for everyone else to show up. And I'm pretty bored, so I thought, let's make a video about my history with personal trainers. I've got 15 minutes. So let's go back a few years. I was mountain biking and I got into a really bad crash. I fell on the right hand side of my body and somehow got home on adrenaline. But I couldn't walk for a few days and I couldn't really run at my full capacity for like 2 months. And I couldn't sleep on the right hand side of my body. So the whole right hand side of my body just atrophied and shrunk, which sucked. Eventually, I hired a personal trainer and I said, hey, I want you to teach me how to do the main lifts, the barbell squat, bench press, deadlift, row, overhead press, right? And he taught me how to do that with proper form, and that was cool. And so I just kind of like did that with whatever gym routine I had, which was not a routine. I would just go to the gym and do whatever. I didn't follow a split or anything. I didn't know what I was doing in the gym. And I did get some of the strength back in the right hand side of my body. And then I just kind of didn't really do anything for the gym for a few years, or like if I did, I wasn't going consistently. And I was just running all day. So that was my first experience with a personal trainer. I worked with that trainer for 2 months, and he taught me how to do the big barbell lifts, and it was totally worth the money. I learned a lot. So more recently, I hired personal trainers again. I signed up to a new gym, and they said, "Hey, as a new gym member, you get some free sessions. You can try out our trainers." So I did, and I thought, man, these guys are smart. And then after my last session, they tried to sell me. They said, hey, you don't have to hire a trainer. You can just work out on your own. But think about how much faster you'll develop with the help of a legit personal trainer. And I thought, it's a good point. So I hired him. And I worked with this personal trainer who was also an amateur bodybuilder. But I mean, he was super buff. Just amateur in the sense that he was young and like getting into it. But I worked with him for 2 months, and I said, hey, I want to be a human Dorito chip, which to this day has not happened. But I'll say I've made a little bit of progress. So there's a lot more progress to go. Anyway, he taught me some really interesting stuff. He taught me about like the pump. What else did he teach me? He taught me about splits. So I never had a split before. I would just go to the gym and I did try this program that had an A, B, C, and D day, so it would rotate through 4 different workouts, and it would be the same 4 workouts as they rotated. And that worked well for me, and my strength was higher than it is now, actually. I could lift more weight. I could bench more for reps. I could deadlift more for reps. Like, everything I could do more for reps. And that was, like, almost a year ago at this point. So, like, my strength is still not where it was a year ago when I was doing the strength training program, which I just found on the internet by myself. And that was with the barbell doing, powerlifting. Well, not powerlifting, but the big moves, the ones I mentioned earlier. Barbell back squat, barbell bench press, etc. But that's not what's important to me. Strength. No, I'm being strong is cool. But as long as I can open up like a bottle cap and carry furniture when people need help moving stuff, I mean, I don't really need to be stronger than that. I'm not doing any kind of strong stuff for my job. I do tech, so it's like I could be a little, I could have no muscles and I would be fine from that perspective. No, I just want to look buff. That's it. So I hired this personal trainer and I said, hey, I want to look buff. Can you teach me how to like get buff? Which I'd never really like actually asked anyone to teach me how to do before. And so he told me about splits, and he said, I think you should do a push-pull leg split. And so I went on a push-pull leg split. And actually what I do is I do legs, pull, push, because apparently you have boosted testosterone in your system after doing a leg day. And the part of my body that I want to grow the most is probably my back. Because they say you can't hide a big back, with a t-shirt or anything. Like it shows up. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I do legs, and then I do pull, and then I save chest for last. And like I could almost care less about chest. I mean, I think big pecs look pretty great. I want to have big pecs, and my pecs are bigger than they've ever been for sure. But like, dude, freaking who cares? Like, I mean, yeah, they're big and they stick out and they make the shirt look good, but I want those big lats, I want the X frame, okay? The chest isn't going to give me that X frame. It's the back. The back's going to give me the X frame, and some other things as well. So I started doing push-pull well, legs, pull, push, whatever. It's a PPL split. And I've been doing that for a while, and I really like it. But then what happened was, see, I used to not have to take rest days. I did this linear progression strength training program called GZCLP, like guy, zebra, car, photography, GZCLP. I did that for 50 days in a row, and, well, you'd think, well, dude, you're obviously doing something wrong, and you were right, I was doing something wrong. Somehow I wasn't training hard enough, and so I didn't need rest days. And I told my trainer, I said, hey, like, I want to learn how to work out hard enough that I need rest days. And I don't think I ever actually explicitly said that to him, but I think he got the message. And, he taught me lots of things, besides the pump and splits, like better lifting technique. He taught me, hey, like, if you want to get bigger pecs, it's not just like pressing movements. You got to do fly movements. And once I added fly movements to my program, I feel like my chest has grown significantly. So, that was a cool thing to learn from the trainer as well. But, yeah, I told him I want to get bigger. I want to get the X-frame. And so after a while, it got to the point where I actually had to take rest days. And so I was taking one rest day a week. But now it's gotten to the point where I take 2 rest days a week. I usually just take the weekend off because I'm so busy. I could work out 6 days a week, maybe, but some weeks I feel like I really do need 2 rest days to recover. And I'm really happy about that because, until now, like, I'm in my 30s, like, until now, I've never known how to work out hard enough on my own without supervision to make myself, one, like, sore the next day. That was always like a chance whether I'd actually be sore the next day. And usually the answer was no, because I didn't know what I was doing. And 2, like, I wouldn't need rest days, because not only would I not be sore the next day, but I wouldn't put on like enough fatigue to actually need a day to recover, let alone 2 days. So now that I've worked with that personal trainer in the past and learned, proper form for the big barbell moves, and I've more importantly and more recently worked with a more bodybuilding focused trainer, learned how to do like splits and focus on the body parts specifically, I've learned how to work out hard enough to make myself sore the next day in the muscles that I hit reliably. Like, just about every workout, yeah, whatever I worked out, the next day it's going to be a little sore or a lot sore, depending. I don't know if it's genetics or if it's me in my head or like what it is, but leg days just really get me. So when I do a leg day, my legs will be sore for like 4 or 5 days after, sometimes even longer. You could say maybe I'm like, being too extreme on my leg day. Like, I'm trying to lift too much weight. I'm putting in too many reps. I'm trying too hard. Maybe I should like lessen my leg day, and so that way I can do 2 leg days. But I'd rather do 1 big leg day and be sore the next few days and be confident in knowing that I'm going to grow from that and I did properly stress the muscles. Like, I would rather do that than do 2 smaller leg days and not really be sore the next few days and not really know if I was actually going to grow from it. So that's like a personal choice. It's probably not the superior option, but whatever. I mean, I don't even really want huge legs. Like, I would be okay with having huge legs, but on my priority list, I'm like any bro. Like, I want big arms, I want big chest, big back, I want the X-frame, and the legs don't really factor too much into that. Now, I'm into sports, I'm into running, I'll go backpacking, so it is important to me to have big and strong legs, and I want to put on as much muscle mass as possible so that I have as much muscle as possible, so that, because muscle burns calories and I want to be able to eat more junk food. So, if I can put muscle on in my legs, then that's great, because that means I can eat more, just everything. And, who doesn't like eating, right? So I'm not against leg days, and I'm not against getting big legs. It's just I would rather get that big back. So I do the legs, and then I do the pull, which is my favorite. So I used to hate back/pull day because I would always do it and I would never feel sore and I would never feel like I was doing anything right. And I'm like, what am I even doing here? And the next day nothing would be sore. And I'd think, didn't I just waste like the whole day in the gym for that pull day? Well, so I had my personal trainer help me, and I would only meet with him for pull days for a while. And we really focused on pull days. And eventually I figured out some exercises and I figured out how to like actually do things with my back. And now I do pull days and things get sore and I work hard, and it's the most exhausting day. I'd say my pull days are more exhausting than my leg days, honestly. I mean, yeah, I dread doing my set of barbell back squats. It's scary. But the pull days are the ones that are just exhausting. And I love it because, a few months ago, I couldn't feel anything going on in my back, and I'm just trusting my personal trainer, and I'm going through the motions. But I've actually developed little lumps of muscles back there. And now when I do various pulling exercises, I can actually feel those clumps and lumps of muscles doing their thing. And it's cool to know that, you know, it was through my work and effort, plus the help of the trainers and the whole internet and everything, that I was able to like develop those muscles in my back, and they're only going to continue to develop. And I mean, the same can be said for my chest, because I never used to get sore from chest days either, because I didn't know how to do flies, and I didn't know all these like various things that I do now. And like now I actually know how to like really hit the muscles, target them, you know, with the right exercises that work for me personally. And you know, I never would have predicted a lot of these exercises that I do now, you know, like a few months ago or a year ago. I never would have thought, oh, that's the exercise that I needed to do to actually grow. But you know, everyone's bodies are different. Our limb lengths are different. Some people have longer legs than torsos and vice versa. Our muscle fiber placements are different. Like our bodies are different. And so there's a reason why different people will do different exercises to get kind of like the same general area. Like, you know, one guy might do barbell bench, I do dumbbell bench, and I grow the most from like cable flies with a really light weight. So I wouldn't have thought, you know, oh, want to grow my chest? Do lightweight cable flies standing up. Like, no, I would have thought, oh, you got to do the big bench press, bro. But like, I mean, and yeah, I get strong. I used to bench a little over one plate. I was benching a little over one plate for, you know, sets of 10 reps a year ago. And now I can't do that. Today I did 5 by 5 with one plate at the end of my workout, just because I was talking to the trainer at the front desk, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, it's my chest day. What's your favorite chest exercise? He's like, oh, I love bench. I'm like, okay, well, just for you, dude, I'm going to do barbell bench. And so I threw in like a one plate barbell bench at the end. And it was really weird because the first set was like the hardest, and the next 4 sets were a lot easier. You know, I'm bringing the barbell down and tapping my chest for each of the reps. And like, I'm going to have to put some wrist wraps on next time because my wrists are kind of weak. But yeah, I guess maybe I should add back in like some heavy lifts, at least to my chest days, because that's satisfying. I feel like with my leg days, the heavy lifts would be like the leg slide machine, and that's scary because there's a chance I'll like pull something. Speaking of leg days, I started doing adductors and abductors because I've got, you know, a lot of girlfriends, and like one of them, I was working out with her, like, we're going to do leg day, butt day, right? And every girl wants to do abductors and adductors. So I'm doing abductors and adductors with her, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. And sure enough, the next day, like my adductors, that's going inwards, my adductors were sore. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, my adductors are sore. My toughest muscle to get sore is my quads, the front muscle in your thigh, basically. So I do some specialized exercises for that. Sometimes I'll do Tom Platz squats. Sometimes I'll do leg extensions. And on my last leg day, I did neither. So I just straight up forgot to get my quads. But I did get my hamstrings. I went really hard on the glutes machine. I did my adductors and abductors. So I'm like, whatever. I did over an hour of weights, probably like an hour and 20 plus with legs. So it's okay if I missed my quads this time. And, you know, I like spin on the bike for an hour, and I run 3 miles, you know, 5 days a week. So like my legs are fine. Maybe they're not huge, but, you know, I can outrun just about anybody. And I went on a backpacking trip recently for like a week, and yeah, I never was fatigued. I could go all the way up the mountains without stopping, basically, with like 30 to 40 pounds on my back. So like, I want my legs to grow, but they're not like, I'm not worried about my legs. So I do work them out every week. Anyway, so the point is that since I got this new trainer, I learned about push-pull legs, and I learned about targeting the muscles with specific exercises meant for those muscles, etc. It's gotten to the point now where I actually need 2 rest days a week. And I also cannot just do like PPL anymore 2 times in a row, because traditional PPL is you do, you know, push-pull legs, 6 workouts in a 7-day week. And you know, it makes sense on paper. 1 rest day, you repeat you repeat your A, B, and C day twice. You know, 6 workouts in a week. It makes sense on paper, and at first it was working for me. But now that I know how to target the muscles in my body hard enough to actually get them sore the next day, and I know how to, you know, lift with intensity, and, you know when to do this and when to do that, and like, you know, just listen to my body a lot more, I don't think I can do PPL anymore. So because I just get so fatigued. Like, I work out 3 days in a row, and on the 4th day, I'm dragging. I work out 4 days in a row, and on the 5th day, I'm done. You know, I shouldn't be taking 2 rest days in a row, Saturday, Sunday. I should be doing like rest on Friday, workout on Saturday, rest on Sunday. You know, space my rest days out That would probably be optimal. But I do so much. Like, I try to have an active social life. And so I'm so busy, like, on the weekends. Because, my friends all have jobs. So, it's not optimal for my workout routine that I take Saturday and Sunday off. But when I'm considering my whole person and my happiness, the social life is more important to me than the gym. Barely. Okay, the gym is very important to me. That's why I'm talking about it on YouTube. Duh. But my friends and family, like if you ask, hey, what's more important to you, your friends and family and personal relationships or the gym? Then I'm going to say the friends and family and personal relationships, even though the gym is extremely important to me. The friends and family and personal relationships are more important. So at the moment, I'm taking Saturdays and Sunday off. Will it change in the future? Maybe. Sometimes I go in on Saturday and I do like a no cardio workout. So then it's like 2 hours in the gym instead of like 4 hours in the gym. To me, that's a compromise, right? But, it's like, what are you going to do? Sometimes you got to make compromises. Anyway, to manage the fatigue, and because I start dragging by like day 4 and day 5, which is like Thursday and Friday, what I've started doing, and this was also recommended by my most recent personal trainer, who I really credit to a lot of my growth. I think he was a great trainer. I really can't thank him enough. I mean, I paid him like $800, but I can't thank him enough. He said, you should do an arm day. So I thought, arm day? No one on Reddit, no one on 4chan, no one on like workout information videos. Like, no one ever says do an arm day. Everyone's like push, pull legs. You gotta do your back, you gotta do your chest, you gotta do full body, you gotta do, whatever, those body parts. That's what you gotta do. No one, I had not seen anyone say, hey, you should just do a day for your arms. Everyone chides bros. Everyone says, oh, if you do push and pull, it'll get your arms. You know what? That's like technically true, but practically in my own experience, it's not. My arms weren't growing. So I started doing arm days. I come in and it's a short workout. I think I do like 3 supersets, and then I finish with like 3 sets that are kind of like burner sets. I do like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but like compared to my other workouts, it's very short. And, but it's so satisfying. I love the arm days. Like, the arm days are definitely my favorite. I mean, between PPL, pull / back is my favorite. But if I'm including arm days are my favorite. I'm a stereotypical guy. I want big arms. I love standing in front of the mirror and doing curls and going, like grinding out those last few reps, stopping to breathe, getting another rep. Like, one thing I'll do is I'll get the 35-pound dumbbells. So I'll start curling 70 pounds. And I can't do 10 reps. Like, I'm not that strong. So eventually I just put the 35 pounders down and I pick up like 25 pounds. And then however many reps I have left, like let's say I'm trying to hit 10 reps and I get 7 with the 35 pounders. Then I've got 3 reps left. So I'll double that and I'll say I'll do 6 reps of the lesser weight. And that's just one of many techniques that was taught to me by my last personal trainer. And it's not a bad idea, Hey, you can't do the same weight, double the reps and do a lower weight. Get that pump, get that burn, make yourself sore. I remember a long time ago, my PE teacher in high school said, curls for the girls. And for the last 25 years, I've always thought, oh, he must have, been denigrating curls, saying curls are, for women, they're for small people. If you want to get big, don't do curls. I had it wrong this whole time. No, don't skip your curls. Curls are for the girls because they make you like you. Girls like big arms. I mean, girls like whatever girls like, and I'm generalizing an entire gender here, but big arms are fucking cool, all right, my guy? Like, you want to do curls. You have 3 muscles in your tricep and 2 muscles in your bicep, so focus more on the triceps. But don't skip your curls and all your curling motions. So on my arm days, I get a lot out of my triceps on my push days, more than I feel like I get out of my biceps on my pull days. So I focus more on my biceps on my arm days, but I still do skull crushers with the cable. I do dips with my body weight, which I only recently was able to start doing. I've never been able to do full-blown sets of dips until like a month ago, which is a really cool milestone. I don't know if it was losing weight or just overall strength from all the work I've been putting in, or if it was, I can't remember if I think I was able to do a set of dips on the very first time I did the arm day. So I guess I just didn't know it, but that I could have done dips sooner than that. But I don't know. I want to wrap the video up before it's 20 minutes. So, add an arm day to your routine and don't be afraid to hire a personal trainer.